Good evening from Be Happy Foundation. Be Happy Foundation is an NGO set up to make people happy, especially the addicts and alcoholics and all the troubled souls. Today we shall discuss about the soul. This word, soul, is what is the animating principle, that which gives us life. Oxford Dictionary, for instance, defines soul as the immaterial essence, the animating principle or the actuating cause of an individual's life. See, everything in this world is made of matter and energy. And energy is the immaterial part of everything. Energy is very hard to define because it is immaterial. Energy is the capacity to do work. That's the modern definition of this thing. But Aristotle, 4th century BC, his view of definition was much more closer to the truth, I would say. He said energy is the source of everything's being and function. For him, inertia was what allowed a thing to do its work or job. So this inertia, animating principle or living energy, is the essence of everything. Essence of, say, a hydrogen atom has different energy than the helium atom or carbon atom. They are defined by the energy content they have. So the energy is the immaterial essence of everything. And Aristotle defines the soul basically as energia in the way that knowledge is. Knowledge or information. And this soul that's in each one of us, we have to experience it. Because it's immaterial. Talking about it is rather difficult, but it is the way to it. And the ancient Indians, Veda basically means knowledge, information, complete information that was revealed to the sages who reached the ultimate stage or who had knowledge of the Brahma. Brahma is, the universe is known as Brahmanda, and that which governs or controls or is the cause of Brahmanda is Brahma, knowledge of everything. Everything is Brahma. And the old belief is that Brahma can be found in your soul. That soul is your Brahma. That was the Vedic belief, but that has to be experienced now. And that way of experiencing, unfortunately, that path of what to do had been lost for ages. And so what has remained is just philosophy. They talk about it, but it's very difficult, and that philosophy is what we call Upanishads. And the main part of the Upanishad, the Gita, people value so much. Whenever people appear agitated, distressed, or going through an emotional turmoil, people often turn to the Gita, because Gita is said to be the quintessence of the Upanishads. Upanishads is the path that leads to the Veda, the complete knowledge, revelation of that knowledge, information. So, but unfortunately, since that path has been missing, people are not being able to. Luckily for me, about in 1991, I found this. I had a very bad time before that, I had become a drug addict, nothing could stop me, and I suddenly found this path. This was a path of Buddhas, they say, called Vipassana. So I went for that 10-day course, and suddenly my drug addiction left, everything was normal again, which I couldn't stop, drugs which I couldn't just stop for 20 years, all of a sudden it left me. And I continued practicing, and after about 10 years, in 2000, I sat for 2 long, serious 1 month meditations. And that's no talking all the time, you're looking down you're looking inside all the time. And that expanded my vision, kind of observing power. And I realized that what I was doing, Vipassana, is explained simply in just 2 verses of the Gita. And that's the first instruction that Krishna gives Arjuna. And the explanation of the first 5 verses of the Gita itself tells you how to attain Amrit, that is the immortal state of consciousness, or the deathless state of consciousness, which they say is how you experience Brahma. So I would like to explain those 4 verses over here today. Which book I take? Yes, this is Bhagavad Gita with a commentary by Shankaracharya, translated by Swami Gambhirananda. Oh yes, so this is it. So I will read. So see, Arjuna is totally distressed because he has the war is about to start. He is a commander of the Pandav forces, and he has to kill all his brother, and he sees over there he has to kill all his brother, and mainly he has to kill Bhishma Pitama and his Dronacharya. Bhishma Pitama is great grand uncle who has surrendered his kingdom so that Pandavas could rule. He has to kill him, as well as his guru who has taught him all the lessons of war and everything. And so he's totally distressed and he doesn't want to. And then he asks Krishna to help him, Lord Krishna to help him. And the first thing he says, Krishna's discourse begins in Gita 2nd chapter, verse 11. He says, Ashocyananva shocastvam pradnyavadancha bhashase gatasun gatasunshcha nanu shochanti panditaha. He said, you are grieving for those who are not to be grieved for, and you speak words of wisdom. The learned do not grieve for the parted and those who have not departed. This is a strange thing. He says that the learned don't grieve for those who are dying or those. How come? So that explanation he gives in the next 2 verses. He says, Natve vaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. That means, but certainly it is not a fact that I did not exist at any time, nor you, nor these rulers of men. And surely it is not that we all shall cease to exist after this. The next verse is, I'll explain this later. He says, this is 2:13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuyati. And this verse says, as our boyhood, youth and decrepitude, that is old age, to an embodied being in this present body. Similar is the acquisition of another body. This being so, an intelligent person does not get deluded. Here he is talking about the Atma, soul, what gives us life. And today we know from DNA exploration and all that, as Craig Venter said in this, he synthesized the genome with this new genome, and he says that all living cells that we know on this planet are DNA software driven biological machines comprised of hundreds of thousands of protein robots coded by the DNA software. The protein robots carry out precise biochemical functions developed by billions of years of evolutionary software. So this DNA is the software or the information that has come down for billions of years. It has lived for billions of years, and all the planets and everything are a result of that first DNA that came, that has evolved into all the plants, animals and us. So it's not that we have never lived. We have always lived 4 billion years, and the body itself is a society of cells. All the cells, and we have trillions of cells in the body. So these cells, even if one of the cells in this whole world survives, it will evolve again into a being like us or even more superior being. So a wise man doesn't get deluded by that. And just as this DNA cells of a body, boyhood, youth and old age, and these cells, the whole body, all the cells of the body are renewed after a few years, 10 years or so. So the whole body is new, although the DNA is the same, because the cells, DNA gets divided and the cells divide and new cells are born with the same DNA, same information. So the knowledge that we have acquired right from the billions remains the same. In youth is a different body. Old age, boyhood is a different body. And when we give birth to a new body, it is our DNA which we transfer to that. Our knowledge is, so that life is the DNA which is being transferred. So there's no use lamenting about killing somebody or if somebody is dying. So that is the meaning of this. But now Arjuna has understood. Now you should know. There's one thing about learning. Learning is the acquisition of information as a consequence of experience, and we experience everything through our senses, 5 senses. But what we sense through our eyes, ears, and nose, we sense when we are aware, we are conscious, and this consciousness is what is called declarative memory or consciousness memory. Sangya, as it's called, samsarka the knowledge of the world, is the memory that we talk about, think about. That is one, and that is the memory that, the intellectual memory which I have told you, Krishna tells Arjuna. So Arjuna has learned from his eyes, ears, and these senses. But there is also the sense of touch, and the sense of touch on the hands of a skin alone, palm alone. There's a sense of touch, there's a sense of pressure, there's a sense of heat, there's a sense of pain. They're all different senses. On contact, you can feel the pressure, heat, pain or something. So these are different senses. You haven't learned from this, and these are the main ones that the body requires. They're the pratham, first, all. So this is the pratham jnana, pragya. So this also you have to have along with this thing. So the next 2 verses, he tells you how to acquire that knowledge from your body. He says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitosni sukha dukkadaha agamapayino nitya santitiksha bharata. Matra is degree, sparsha means contact or touch. So the degree of contact or touch is only degrees of contact are only the producers of Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha. That means cold and heat, pleasure and pain. Only contact of them can produce pleasure and pain, heat and cold. These are agamapai, that means they have a beginning and an end. Anitya, that means they are impermanent or transient. So, bear them, sit and bear them, O Bharat. This is the direction that you have to do. You have to, if you want to gain that knowledge from the sense of touch, contact senses. So, and if you do that, he says, the next verse, Yam yenau yathayantyete purusham purusharshava samadukha sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. That means, O Arjun, you are foremost among men. Verily, a person whom these do not torment, these sensations of heat and cold, pleasure and pain do not torment. The wise man, to whom sorrow and happiness are the same, when these do not torment the sensations, he is the same in sorrow or pleasure, and he alone is fit to attain Amrit. Mrit is death. Mrit means deathless. Now, deathless is a state of consciousness which is called yoga. Patanjali defines yoga as chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta means consciousness, vritti means fluctuation, nirodha means cessation. That means there is no fluctuation in consciousness in that state. There is no thinking, there is no feeling, there is no the consciousness doesn't work, stops. It's called Amrit in Gita. The Jains call it Anarambi. Buddhists also call it Amrit. So the path was the same, but the path was lost. It is explained in different, in Buddhist literature, it's explained in a different way. In Jainism, I don't know, I haven't been through that. And Gita is explained in this way. But the path is what we have to do, and how do we do it? So let's see how we can do it. This the best direction of this I found in, of course, Vipassana 10-day meditation courses are there, but this has to be taught to children, because you see, if you are not, you learn by years in this thing, but not by learn about the heat and cold and pleasure and pain, especially pleasure and pain. You are not aware of the pleasures and pain. You react wrongly, and that reaction is also learned by you. That is the sanskar. The sansaric, the knowledge, sanskar ka akar. Akar means get formed. You get a different form of learning, sanskar, which is called conditioning in English. And that conditioning blocks us. So it's best to teach it to children. And that's what exactly this whole explanation of this is there given in Aristotle's De Anima, which is called On the Soul. But unfortunately, unless you practice it, people are not able to understand that. It's just that I have been practicing it for 20 years, and so I was able to see it. It's just lucky. So, and his this thing that you've got to feel the pleasure and pain, heat and cold to the right degree. I mean, this is and react or not react at the right degree, and that you get to learn only if you are aware of these things. And see, the main thing about education is that the way to educate the children should not become misfits in the world, but at the same time they should not lose the extraordinary sensitiveness that they are born with. See, children are very sensitive and we are learning everything from our senses. As we grow, they grow up because of these sanskars that get added, that sensitivity goes down. So we got to keep that sensitivity remain, and so this is to be taught to the children. And that's exactly what Aristotle says in his Nichomania and Nichomania Ethics in the second book, third or fourth chapter. He says, you have to, this is how you have to train them. So now let's see, for a few minutes I will see how we can start with this exercise. You've got to feel your body, you've got to remain your awareness. All the time we have been learning, keep our awarenesses on the outside world, in our eyes and ears and nose, we learn from the outside world. So now we will try and keep our awareness within the body for some time. So you can do this kind of exercise. Just close your eyes and remain in a relaxed position, which you can keep for some time. I will now ask you to feel certain sensations on your body that you're feeling right now, but of which you may not be explicitly conscious. Feel the sensations of your clothes or your shirt on your shoulders. Now feel the sensations of your back resting against the chair you're sitting on. Now feel the sensations of your hands as they touch each other or rest on your thighs or wherever they are resting. Now feel the sensations on your thighs as they press the chair you are sitting on. Now feel the sensations of your feet as they touch the floor or your shoes. Once again, feel the sensations of your shirt on your shoulders, your back, right hand, left hand, right thigh, left thigh, right foot, left foot. Now keep on going the rounds by yourself. Feel one part of your body. Experience the sensations for a couple of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. Go to the next part. Feel the sensations there for a couple of seconds. And then go to the next part, next part. Just keep on going this round. This awareness immediately brings you back to your senses and releases the tension, because most of the time we are thinking. That adds a lot of nervous tension. Just keep on doing this exercise for some time. Later on you can take up the book Sadhana by Father Anthony de Mello. You can get this at any of the Catholic bookshops like St. Paul's or Examiner Press. And these exercises are best explained by him. This is called Sukha Vipassana, layman's practice of Vipassana, which is best explained. Father Anthony de Mello was himself a heavy practitioner of this enlightened person. He had done 2 Vipassana courses and been practicing himself. He had become an enlightened person. And his directions are pretty nice for teaching children. Yes, of course, for growing more after some few days, you would like to grow more, you can go for a 10-day Vipassana course. The atmosphere over there is really just perfect for us to meditate. And as you grow, you start feeling sensations all over the body. Slowly, you'll start feeling more sensation. You have to just be aware of these sensations, whatever sensations they are. Don't react to them. If they are pleasant, don't say, I want more. Just, okay, this too shall pass. Everything is changing. If they are unpleasant sensations, no saying, go away. No, don't have any aversion towards them. Just bear them patiently. As time comes and you start feeling sensations from head to feet, in 1 second you're just feeling sensations all over. Then we work through inside the body. Inside the body, start from the front and go to the back. There's no solidity, it's all sensations. Of course, the last part is very, very difficult when you come to the heart and you have to work on the heart. That is very solid, and to break that solidity, well, it's just that you grow and you are happy. It helps a lot. And the point is that we have been all this time aware of the whole world, but the problem is within. And we are very, very sensitive people. It's just that we've lost it as we are growing up. And we grow back again to the sensitivity. It is fulfillment, I can tell you. Be happy.